kids, and as much as he loved his parents, he hadn't counted on having any company. He needed a cold beer and his wife, not necessarily in that order. He figured everyone was in bed, yet an uneasy feeling crept over him as he entered his home. He paused in the foyer. Was that the television he heard coming from the living room? Typically, Teri would be in bed before 10 because she got up around 6 to jumpstart her day. Tatum was 7 and attended a different school than Tia. Tempest was 5 and attended kindergarten at the same school as Tatum. Tasha, their baby, who was barely 3, attended daycare. He hadn't liked the idea of Tasha in daycare, but Teri claimed Tasha needed to be around kids her age at least a few days a week to start developing her social skills. Mac hadn't wanted Teri to work outside the home either, but she'd insisted that she needed to get out of the house for a while during the day. So now she was working part-time at one of the libraries in town. Mindful of not waking the kids, while at the same time intent on not scaring his parents, he took out his phone and texted Teri. She practically slept with the phone beside her. When the message didn't immediately show as delivered, he frowned, wondering what was wrong with her phone. He tried calling her earlier, twice in fact, when his plane had landed in D.C. He hadn't gotten an answer either time. What was going on? He placed his gear down and was headed toward his bedroom when his father rounded the corner. Harlequin McRoy nearly jumped out of his skin when he saw his son. "Damn it, Mac! You trying to give me heart failure?" his father asked. "I didn't hear you come in." Mac crossed the floor to give his father a bear hug. "You weren't supposed to hear me. I'm a SEAL, Dad." "Why didn't you ring the doorbell?" Mac thought that was a crazy question. "I live here. I don't need to ring the doorbell. Besides, I didn't want to wake anyone. By the way, I like your new set of wheels." His father beamed. "Thanks. It's your mom's car. I surprised her with it as an early anniversary gift. It's been almost 40 years, you know." Yes, Mac knew. He was the oldest of 2, and Carlton and Alexis Youngblood McRoy hadn't wasted any time after their wedding to start a family. He'd been born a week shy of their first anniversary. He figured he was supposed to be one and done, but his sister Kylie had been born on his parents' 10th anniversary. "That's a nice gift." "I thought so, and Lex was more than deserving," his father said. Mac smiled. His parents were special. There weren't 2 adults he admired more, and they had always been great role models for him and his sister. Their interracial marriage had worked for them because they'd always said love got them together, and it would be love that kept them together. "Thurston!" Matt glanced around and chuckled when his mother practically threw herself into his arms. "Hey, Mom," he said, placing a kiss on her cheek. "I heard voices and thought one of the girls had awakened." "No, it's just me and Dad. He saw me when I was headed down the hall to my bedroom to let Teri know I was home." He still had his arms around his mother's shoulders when he felt her tense up. "Mom, you okay?" he asked, looking down at her. He thought the same thing now that he'd thought while growing up. His mother was a beautiful woman with eyes a unique shade of blue and ash blonde hair. His father had a dark chocolate complexion, which accounted for Mac and his younger sister's skin tone being a combination of the 2. When his mother still hadn't answered his question, he turned his eyes to his father, who had the same wary expression on his face that Mac's mother wore. Releasing his arm from around his mother's shoulder, Mac straightened to his full height of 6 foot 3 inches. "Okay, what's going on?" When his parents glanced at each other, that uneasy feeling from earlier crept over him again. Not liking it, he turned to go down the hall toward his bedroom when his father reached out to stop him. "Teri isn't here, Mac." Mac turned back to his father. His mother had moved to stand beside his dad. "It's after 2 in the morning, and tomorrow is a school day for the girls."